Welcome to Reporter 247 channel, the place to update the fastest and most accurate news. Intense clashes remained audible in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum on Tuesday, local residents reported. This comes despite both Army and Rapid Support Forces, RSF, agreeing to extend the ongoing ceasefire, which had been due to expire late Monday, for a further 5 days. The truce is being monitored remotely by Saudi Arabia and the United States, who have acknowledged that it has been violated by both sides. Nevertheless, it has allowed for essential aid to be delivered to an estimated 2 million people. Residents of Khartoum, Omdurman and Bari held their breath as the extension of the ceasefire was signed, hoping that it will end the fighting in the capital's surrounding areas. "We are clinging to this truce, as it is our only chance of returning to our normal lives," said Hein Saber, a 53-year-old resident. Just before the signing of the ceasefire extension, residents reported fierce clashes in all three cities at the Nile's confluence. Unfortunately, it appears that the fighting continued even after the ceasefire was established on Tuesday night. In a statement, Reporters Without Borders, RSF, has condemned the Sudanese army for violating the ceasefire, claiming that it defended itself against an attack and took control of an army base. This has caused mass displacement, with an estimated 1.4 million people, including more than 350,000 who have fled to neighboring countries, forced to flee their homes. Furthermore, parts of the capital city have been subjected to grave looting and suffer frequent power and water cuts, further exacerbated by the closure of the majority of hospitals. In response to the unrest, the United Nations, various aid organizations, embassies, and portions of the Sudanese government have relocated their operations to Port Sudan, the main shipping hub located in the Red Sea state, which has remained relatively unaffected. On Tuesday, the Security Committee of Red Sea State announced the capture of several rebellious sleeper cells, which had allegedly infiltrated from outside. In order to ensure the public's safety, they extended a state of emergency and imposed a curfew from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in Port Sudan. The conflict began in April 15 following approval of an international plan to facilitate the transition towards elections run by a civilian government. After the deposing of former leader Omar al-Bashir in 2019, the Army and Red Sea Force, RSF, held the top positions of the ruling council. In 2021, they staged a coup in an attempt to keep control over the chain of command and restructuring of the RSF. In a video on Tuesday, Army leader General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan congratulated the troops and mentioned that the extension of the ceasefire was necessary in order to increase the citizens' access to services. He also remarked that the army had not yet employed their full power. However, they would not hesitate to take action if the enemy does not comply. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has warned that over 13.6 million young people in Sudan, a nation of nearly 49 million people, urgently need life-saving humanitarian assistance. The UN World Food Programme, WFP, further reported that approximately 2.5 million people in the African country could soon suffer from inconceivable hunger as a result of about 17,000 metric tons of food being looted since the start of the conflict. Fortunately, the WFP said that on Monday it began to distribute meals in certain areas of the capital, which was the first instance of this happening since the beginning of the conflict. Human Rights Chief Volker Turk cautioned on Tuesday that the hostilities in Khartoum, which had spread to the fatigued Darfur region, could take a terrible, inter-ethnic direction. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the latest news. Goodbye.